Hi, all, and welcome to Monday Night's Treasure Vortex with Gypsy Jules from YouTube's Zero Discrimination, as well as her website, gypsydigs.com, and myself, Amanda Digger Degaz. Tonight, we do not have a special guest. We're just going to take this one easy and hang out and catch up because I know Gypsy and I haven't actually gotten a chance to talk this past week. I know she's had adventures, I've had adventures. We've definitely had adventures since this past Monday, so figured we'd do that as well as perhaps a giveaway. I'm not sure. We shall see. So, hey Gypsy, how are you this evening?
Hey, I'm doing great, doing great. It's good to be
Good.
here with you tonight and all of our guests. It seems like it's been a while since we've just been you and I. I know we've had a lot of guests lately, but it's always good to catch up with you and hear what you've been up to and just talk about, you know, all of our goings on and what's coming up too.
Yeah,
Because I
absolutely.
know I think the March Madness title that you chose. Now Amanda chose that, and it kind of fits with both of our mad lives lately. Have been like a true vortex, just all kinds of directions with family life and other happenings going on besides our treasure life. So I'm anxious to catch up with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully everybody's been enjoying our guests. I know we have a whole bunch of others set up to, come on the show. And if you have any ideas or there's somebody you think would be great, definitely reach out to Gypsy and I. They might already be in the lineup, or it might be someone we could reach out to. So hope you all are enjoying them. Definitely learning a lot of awesome stuff from amazing detectorists and amazing treasure hunters. So it's been fun from our end anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I always enjoy, our guests. We have such a good variety of different guests and that do all types of treasure hunting. Like our beachcomber, I've been following her now ever since, you know, we had her on as a guest, watching her Instagram. She's been following some of mine and FLX, and we've got just all these awesome guests that we've had on lately. And um, Get That Treasure, all these amazing guests. And thank y'all for coming on the show and being with us. But um, I'm anxious so to hear about you and and what you've been up to. I know you've been doing a little mudlarking lately.
I
Have you
have.
gotten out to metal detect though
I
lately?
I haven't. I haven't. I've looked at the detector and I've been like, "Oh man, I can't wait." Um, Soon. Well, I say soon, but actually, as of Wednesday, I won't be allowed to dig holes for a couple weeks. So I think, April, mid-April might be the first
Right,
time I'll be able to get out digging. So, um,
right. Well, we can talk about our
yeah.
our event in April that we'll be attending, but later on. But sorry
Mm,
you hadn't been able to get out and metal detect.
yeah, it's all right. I mean,
But
the
you've
tides
been
have been,
able to get out and
yes.
mudlark. Yeah, tell
Yeah,
me about the tides.
the tides have been crazy high, and we've gotten massive amounts of rain. So, in New England, where I am, if any of you are new listeners, the dumps where people used to bring all their trash were on the water. And what they would do is they'd have it there, and it would be a natural barrier so they could burn it and then throw more trash and burn it. So there's layers to the dump. Well,
Right.
at high tide, it comes in and these crazy waves, it really, rakes up the bottom. And then at low tide, it pulls out just crazy things, amazing things. So it's like every low tide, you can go and find something new that you didn't see before. And Yeah, just getting, you know me and the marbles and the beads. Been spotting a lot of beads and pretty excited about them. And bunch of clay marbles. I've got a couple Aggies and lots of little bottles. I think I've actually between the two spots between the dump that's up off the water a little bit and the dump that's on the water, I think I have more bottles this year already than I had all year last year.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy because I feel like I've got a great start to the new year with bottles as well.
Hmm.
Um, as opposed to this last year, I didn't get to go dump digging as much. Um, like previous years, when I used to go with Zola a lot when I lived, there, and I showed her some of the dumps that I'd love to dig and visit. And to me, I don't know how you do it alone, which I know where you go, there's not that big of an area, but I've gotten to where I just don't like going alone anymore. I have to have somebody, a friend, along with me. It's just not as fun.
Hmm.
Now, sometimes I will admit, I do like my solitaire, but some of these places that I have tend to frequent these days, you almost need to go with somebody else because, like just here on the farm, just this last week, I was walking out just for a hike with the dog, and there was this massive water moccasin that reared up and almost bit my dog.
Oh,
You know, scared me to death. But just for safety reasons. But for me, it's about being able to share in that moment of us finding something. What one finds, and we can share in that moment. But then I can remember all those many years back when I first got started, how many times it was my meditation, my solitude, my reflection of just getting out, like when I lived in Galveston on the beach and just swing and just, it felt like I could just relax and unwind. Well, I had two kids at home, or at school, whatever, when I was able to get out. And so it was my relaxation, my meditation, my time. I enjoyed that alone time. But
yeah.
now I've noticed it's just changed a lot for me. And I guess it also just depends. Like, I know those places you go mudlarking, it's probably not as dangerous, you know.
Um, yeah, I'm so twofold. I would love to have friends go out with me each time. It just doesn't work. It doesn't, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. The majority of times it doesn't. And I think one of the things that makes me feel okay to go to the spots I am is I do have like the GPS thing, like the link,
hmm
so someone can find me. I always let multiple people know, hey, I'm going, this is where I'm going. If I change spots, I'm always communicating. So there's that constant, and if people like don't hear from me, like within like an hour, hour and a half, they'll be, hey, how's it going? You finding some cool stuff? So they check in. And then,
Right.
I do, I'd say I do a lot of videoing. Um, and I
hmm
do when I'm finding stuff. And then I have a whole bunch of, videos that I make that I don't share because they're stupid. But yeah, I
We
mean,
all do that.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of glad that there are people there to listen or like, but
Right.
yes, when it comes to safety, absolutely. I wish there was somebody with me. Plus, sharing in some of the joy of the finds, like, it would be nice. Um, yeah. Um,
Yeah, and like somebody mentioned in chat, they're always in the hood. I know a lot of the places when I go to public places anymore, it's just dangerous anymore. Even if you're packing, like somebody said in chat, even if you're carrying a gun or anything like that, um, you know, there's just so many different variables, and uh, Mike Hare and I used to go round and round about this. He was like, you know, I remember one time I was out metal detecting alone out on the river in, the Austin area where I used to live. And he'd called me up and says, "What you doing?" I said, I'm out detecting. He's like, "Oh, are you alone?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, no, you shouldn't be alone," and he was freaking out. And why aren't you, why aren't you, you need a gun and all that. And I mean, and occasionally I will remember to bring my zapper, or I'll remember if I am going out alone or something. But I've always thought, well, my shovel, it's my weapon. But even so, if you get two people gang up on you, I'm not. I know a lot of the places. Yeah, dogs. Matt mentioned dogs. Luckily, knock on wood, I've never had an issue. But I've had plenty of dogs bark at me, walk up, while I'm, digging or something. But it's just dangerous,
Yep.
But not just that. Like, remember during COVID, back when I broke my ankle? Oh my gosh, that was terrible. I had been dropped off, and I had to finally, by the time I got someone to come pick me up, and that's terrible. What if you have no signal? I know some of the places I detect, I don't have signal. And so what if you are out there alone and you break your ankle or you fall and something, it's not for a day or so till you get
Then I went out doing something I loved.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've always thought. But that day, man, I'll never will forget that day. I was in so much pain, my ankle. But, snake bit around here, man. There's so many snakes. And today I was out walking out behind the pond, and tons of wild hog, where the wild hogs have tore up the ground out there. So that's another thing here in East Texas, besides the poisonous snakes. You've got the wild hogs, you've got coyotes, you've got, some bears spotted. But, there's just a lot of other stuff that it's just best to, go with someone. I think with you, at least you're close, and most of the ones that I know that you go to where you mudlark, you're close to a major road, I guess. So
well,
hopefully there'd be somebody in neighborhoods.
Just the mudlarking. I had the detecting. Yeah, there's a couple fields that there's nothing around. And then I have some spots that lead back into the woods, and again, there's nothing around. So for like that type, I always have my backpack. I always have my mace. It's a mix. It's a mace, pepper spray, something else. I don't know. And I always have a first aid kit and this, that, and the other. So I try to be prepared when I'm going to be that far away.
Right. Well, that's me. I keep my kit in the car.
Yeah.
But